On this show, we meet the man who is Lucky, a lifelong Clevelander, business owner, singer, songwriter, and musician. He's also a Vitamix user. And by the way, stick around to the end of the show. At the end of the show, we'll be making a tasty smoothie, and we'll show you right here why you'll want to click on the 30-day risk-free trial for your very own Vitamix and start benefiting right away. Also, I want to mention, what is Healthy Cleveland? A Healthy Cleveland is about not only putting together the pieces of good health, like I mentioned last week, but it's also about bringing the community people, places, and things. We've got business owners, we've got musicians, and sometimes a combination of both. If you'd like to check out, if you are a musician, I've got some very interesting websites you definitely want to check out. Very popular, afterthegig.com. If you haven't heard about it, you can find out about open mics. You can post your gigs that are going on, and they will promote those for you. A new one that I just found this week is very interesting. It's called neopenmic.com. It's a local, longtime songwriter, singer, performer, Charlie Mossbrook's website. He has got very good information regarding open mics, what to expect. Check it out if you can. Also, I've mentioned before, jamnightnews.com and clevelandbands.org. All great sites to check out for your local music scene put on by local people. Lucky, welcome to the show.
Hey, it is a pleasure to be here, man.
Glad to have you. Glad to have you.
I'm a fan of the show. I've been watching everyone that you've done so far, and you have a lot of good things. You got a lot of good people on the show and a lot of good information. So
excellent. You know, the cool thing about the open mics is, you know, for musicians that are seeking musicians, like once we were, you always are. But
that's how we hooked up.
Right. That's how we got together in '95, I think it was. Right?
Yes, it was.
And, you know, for also people seeking out entertainment for a low cost, free.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
that's true.
Lucky, you know, to introduce you, you know, you've been a business owner since I met you, and a long time before. You had a transmission shop for 25 years. And were you a musician before that, or was playing and writing music something that came after?
Music was always in me. You know, I mean, and the only people who know that are people who experience it too, and I know you do too, and a lot of musicians do. Not even all musicians, believe it or not. I think a lot of guys get into it for different reasons, but when you really feel the music, and the first time that I really started hearing music was like I was 8, 9 years old, and I was just more attracted to listening to music than other kids, you know? I mean, it's like I always wanted to hear it. I always had to have it in the background and listening to music and buying records but I didn't play. I picked up a guitar a little bit in my teenage years, didn't do much. My brother, Sheldon, who's passed away last year, was a drummer though, and he was like that too. He was big into listening to music, and he would just play, we had 45s, he'd play Beatles. You know, once the Beatles hit, that was it. That was it. And I'm really proud, not proud, because I didn't do anything about it. I just happened to be at the right place at the right time, but I'm just so happy that I grew up in that era, because that was like the explosion of music, I think. That's what I would call it. Wow. You know, it wasn't the beginning of rock and roll. That happened before me, which would have been a cool time too. But there was nothing like it. There's nothing I've ever experienced like that since. Any kind of music, just the way just people responded to it, and it was so polarizing, and you know, but the Stones, the Beatles, all that stuff, you know. And I never wrote anything back then, though. I didn't start writing until I was probably in my 30s. And really starting to play more, you know.
You were well into your career, obviously, at that point.
Transmission business, yeah, I got into that when I was in my early 20s. I actually was in my own business at 23. And started the transmission business in Strongsville, and then moved it to Parma, where it's been since 1978. Still in business, my brother owns it. And, you know, I was, like you said, though, I was well into that. But even then, now the first band I started actually playing in was right around 1978. So,
and what's the name of that band?
Dude, I don't remember the name of that band.
Those memories do kind of fade away, right?
Well, it was just covers, you know, and it lasted a few months, and I don't know what it is about drummers, but so I got in an argument with well, not just me, the whole band. But
I think that happens a lot.
That's a common thread. I don't know. You'll find
it's unexplained mystery. But you know, as you Was the way you grew up and the music you grew up with the main influence when you started writing?
It's funny. I don't consider having, when I write stuff, I just write what comes into my head. What I hear, I don't think I'm going to try to write like somebody, or, you know, even when it gets done, a lot of times I don't think that, you know what, it doesn't sound like somebody that much, you know. But it's amazing, and lately I've been finding this out now that I've been getting back into where I'm in another cover band now, the One Hit Wonders. I know we'll talk about that a little while. But I just noticed recently, like stuff the other day, yesterday, playing some videos on YouTube, and you know, they had the ones on the side, and I was specifically going to watch something that the band's going to learn. But on the side, I saw it looked really cool. It said Matthew Sweet, and that the chick that was in the Go-Go's. What was her name?
Melinda?
No, not the Go-Go's. The other band, the Manic Monday. Susanna Hoffs. She was. Okay. I used to have a thing for Susanna back in the '80s. But her and Matthew Sweet doing Cinnamon Girl. So that's pretty cool. So I click on it, and it's you gotta watch it. It rocks. It really does. And they do a great job. You know, she's singing the high stuff, he's singing the mid, and all of a sudden I realized, you know, I'm listening to that progression. It's like I heard that when I was 14 and 15. Well, you know what? That's a progression. Actually, it's in the Sagan song, dude. It was in a backup, you know. So it's like I never try to do things, but when you hear something later in life, and it happened with another song last week too. I can't remember it now, but it's like, wow, that song affected my writing. I didn't even know it did. You know, I mean, because if you're a good writer, I don't think, you know, you think about anything when you write. You just write.
Well,
you know, you write what you feel.
Your perspective, you know, and the songs that I'm familiar with since I've met you, obviously it comes from a certain place, and I know when it comes, it comes and you write it. But specifically, you mentioned the Sagan song. When you wrote the Sagan song, there's a lot of controversy in that song, and when you read the YouTube, when you read the YouTube comments, it's like I don't think people get it.
You know, it's funny, they don't, and I don't know why. Because for one thing, if you listen to the song, it's written in question form. All the lyrics are asking questions. Are we alone, or is someone watching? It's not an opinion, it's a question. Almost the whole song is questions. So it's asking different points of view. Is it this or is it that? You know, so that's what it was. And I don't know if you want me to elaborate about how
in relation to Sagan, I mean, how does that connect?
Well, and I know you were there, man. You know, you and I, of course, were in a band for 6 years, and in I think it was 96, you know, we used to talk about, we love to talk about just deep stuff, space, and why are we here, and all that stuff. And it's just fun to talk about and not to argue about, because some people are so set in this is how it is that those people aren't any fun to talk to. You know, I mean, they're not, unless they have a valid point of view that they can back up with evidence. But if it's not, you know, it's just an opinion, and I'm always open to listening to opinions. That's how you learn more stuff. That's how music too. You know, you just learn a little bit from everybody you talk to. So, anyways, I don't want to get off the subject too much, but we were in the band and we talk about space and all that. So we were all into Sagan. I had just watched Cosmos probably about 4 or 5 years before that, and that changed my life. That was an epiphany watching that video. If anybody hasn't watched it, you need to watch Carl Sagan's Cosmos. It's just it's the thing that affected my life more than any teaching or anything I was ever taught or taught to believe that was the truth or something.
So it was a combination of questions we ask, basic questions we ask in humanity, and obviously the inspiration of Carl Sagan.
Yeah, well, we went to see, he came out with a movie called Contact. And I can remember, and I'm not sure if you remember, but the whole band went to see it together.
Right.
We all went. There was like 10, you know, a band and friends and girlfriends and you know, whoever wanted to go, we all went.
The opening scene is my favorite.
Oh, and then when the thing pulls away, and it was just, that was another one of those nights. It was like, I went home and I wrote the Sagan song that night, because it just started with asking questions, because that's what the movie's about. It asks questions. It doesn't give direct answers, because there are no direct answers. There usually isn't. You know, unless you're talking scientific stuff, but when you're talking, you know, belief kind of stuff, you know, faith-based, let's use the word faith because that's what it is. You know, the definition of faith is something that there's no evidence, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it is what it is. It's faith. So,
well, over
you know?
6,000, I think over 6,500 views on YouTube for the Sagan song. I'd like to play it.
Yes.
And to share this video with you real quick. This is called the Sagan song. And this is by Locky?
This was the band Generation Gap.
Right on.
This is the band. You know, the song was my creation, but the music, I mean, you know, they with the playing and all that. Dana's plays on this. John Lasko, Ted Spence. That was Generation Gap, and
Excellent.
of course they didn't like the song. It was You and Me. Do you remember?
I loved it. I've always loved it. Check it out,
It's
folks.
because of you that's on the album.
Are we alone or is someone watching us, keeping an eye on our little race? Somewhere from a place called heaven, or maybe from the depths of outer space. Evolution or creation brings us only questions and speculation. We're all looking in so many places, but we're still all searching for the same things. Just the facts, just the facts. Is that all we're looking for? Do we need to find it captured in stone? Just have faith to believe, believe in a higher source. There's plenty on the menu to bring you on home. What we know is we're here. Did we win the lottery? Or is it all some special design? What would we do if God was a scientist and came from his dimension to save our souls? Fix the DNA strands, give us the codes. Science and the spirit go together, we're told. Would we go? Don't know, we don't know, we don't know, we don't know more than we did 1,000 years ago. With all our improvements in technology, we're no closer to the truth of who we might be. The insignificance of this little world is blinded by illusions of our grandeur. The universe we see is only a taste. If it's only us, it sure would be a waste. Just the facts, just the facts. Is that all we're looking for? Do we need to find it captured in stone? Just have faith to believe, believe in a higher source. There's plenty on the menu. You're never alone. I don't know. Just what is the difference? Carl Sagan or the Pontiff himself? What would we do if God was an alien who came down in a spaceship to save our souls? Fix the DNA strands, give us the codes. Science and the spirit go together, we're told. Would we go? Oh find where we belong. Everlasting, ever strong. The search to find where we belong. Everlasting, ever strong. The search to find where we belong.
All right. All right. That was the Sagan song, performed by Generation Gap, written by our guest tonight, Lucky. Welcome back.
Thanks.
Lucky, it's interesting, the Sagan song video ends with the inevitable,
Uh-oh.
Without any second resolution.
although there are,
That's George. It's a voice.
it's a voice
It's a voice from beyond.
But
It's
it
George.
ends with the inevitable. Although it asks questions, it ends with what we do know, and that is the Earth will one day be engulfed by the sun.
Yep, that's gonna happen for sure. There's no doubt about that. Probably 5 billion years. So, we're definitely not going to be here. Mankind itself's not going to be here either, because most species last a few million years as an average. So, we're a little smarter than most of them. So maybe we'll get 5 million.
Maybe we will. I'm sure some of our viewers tonight might have wondered, why is this pizza box on a healthy Cleveland? What has pizza got to do with being healthy? Well,
Because pizza can be healthy. That's why.
it can be. It just so happens, Lucky also owns Tony's Pizza. And Tony's Pizza is located in Parma, Ohio, on State Road. That's 66066, right?
6066.
6066 State Road in Parma. So I got to show this off a little bit. We're going to open up this box. Tell us a little bit about this healthy pizza.
Now, this pizza here, first of all, the thing that makes it the most healthiest, is that good English, is the crust. This is wheat crust, wheat dough. So no starches, no white, because that's bad for you, right, Dana?
Not too much starch.
White stuff is bad. Any white stuff is bad dough.
Enriched.
So, it's enriched, exactly. So this is all natural dough, and then we put really, a lot of veggie toppings on there. You got the banana peppers, green peppers. We do throw some chicken on there and tomato, which makes any pizza much better. As if you want a tip for buying pizza, whatever you order on your pizza, add tomatoes to it next time, and tell me how it's going to taste. Because I guarantee it's going to taste better than.
Oh, it
even
looks
normally.
delicious, and we're going to eat this after the show.
Yeah. Well,
All right.
yeah. We got another one here. People have been eating too. So
Excellent.
Now that one's not a healthy pizza, but sometimes you got to have a little of both. You can't.
Sometimes you gotta
I'm not a
enjoy.
guy that's an extremist. I like to be in the middle, and then you take little stuff, good stuff, and from each side. A little bit of each, and balance it out, and eat healthy, but also if you want, enjoy a cheeseburger every once in a while.
I love the story. Lucky's
You can call me.
of Tony's Pizza. Also is Tony. His first date when he was 16,
Oh yeah.
who was right in that very same pizza place.
I grew up in this neighborhood, and we just bought the pizza place like a year and a half ago, me and my partner, Kevin, and business partner. And I used to go here as a kid. It was 2 streets away from my house. And I had my first date in this pizza shop when they used to have tables that you sat down at. But tables are long gone. It's just a takeout place. So.
Right.
But never in my wildest dreams did I think I would be running that place when I was there 40 years ago.
So
Running
is this
a
like something to do coming out of retirement? While you...
Well, not out of retirement, it's pre-retirement. Because a lot of people think I was retired. I wasn't. I had a job from home, and people thought I wasn't working, but I was working. I had a 40-hour job, man. But working from home is, if you can ever get a job working from home, get one. They're great.
My dad, I want to say late 80s, had a pizza shop in Elyria called 4th Street Pizza. And their famous one was my favorite, the tropical pizza with the pineapple. and ham.
Pineapple, ham, bacon.
Oh, yeah.
Hawaiian, we call it.
Hawaiian, okay.
But they call it, some places call it
Yeah,
tropical, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a good pizza.
Excellent.
Good stuff, man.
So here's a great question. You don't use the Vitamix at the pizza place.
No.
I didn't think so.
No,
It might be an edge. You
This is one of the few things that's this is one of the few things that is healthy there. You know, it's a regular pizza place, so we got wings and pasta dinners and that stuff. But no Vitamix. But I use the Vitamix all the time at home, every day now, every day.
So post-generation gap, you still continued writing and recording from
Yeah,
home?
you know, once I started, I never really stopped. But I'm not one of those guys that writes like all the time. You know, I just whenever it hits me, sometimes I won't write for 6 months or a year, and then all of a sudden I'll write 5 songs in 2 weeks. And I don't know. I'm a spurt kind of guy when it comes to writing. You know, and I don't write them fast. Once I start them, it takes me a while. I just finished one too about actually it's really talking about freedom, and because the stuff about
It's a tribute to Veterans Day, correct?
well, no, that I wrote last year. That one was "We Thank You," which was a tribute to our troops. That song was it was written because I just wanted to do something. Eddie, of course, Eddie Temecca, my buddy, and he has a recording studio, first place we ever recorded, and he wanted to do something nice for veterans. And he said, you ever think about writing a song? And I said, let me give it a try, you know, and I wrote it, and he liked it, so we recorded it, did a video, and that was last year, so that was a lot of fun. No, the one I'm writing now is about, it's actually, like I said, it's about freedom. It's specifically related to gay marriage, because the stuff about gay marriage pisses me off, that people won't let gay people get married. I don't understand why. Why is it any of your business? I don't get it. I just don't. Freedom means letting people do what they want to do, not what you want them to do. You know, I mean, unless it's infringing on your freedom, leave people alone. You
So
know,
if people want to do
You know,
something to hurt themselves, let
people.
them do
Well,
it.
if you let two men get married, next thing a guy want to marry a horse. Well, if he wants to marry a horse, if the horse can talk, let him marry the horse. You know,
We just
I mean,
can't give
it's-
them state benefits if they want to collect.
It's stuff like that. And that kind of logic there, that kind of logic, and I'm not even going to use air quotes because they don't even deserve it.
Well, that's an
the
extreme,
logic that
obviously.
pisses me off too. Well, no, there's a lot of people that feel that way. That's why gay marriage gets voted down most of the time. When you let people vote about stuff like that, they're going to vote with their gut, their heart, instead of their brain. That's just what people are going to do. And if they're pre-taught that gay marriage is wrong because marriage is only between a man and a woman, then they're going to vote against it every time. And it's not a voting issue. It's an equal rights issue. You don't vote. There was no voting about letting, you know, blacks have civil rights in the 60s. That, if you did, you think if you let people vote in the South, that you don't think segregation would still be going on in the South if you let the states vote for themselves? You don't think there'd be white bathrooms and black bathrooms down in Alabama still today? I guarantee you there would be. You don't let people do that. That's not voting. Freedom means civil equality. And people, two people, I don't care who they are, if two people want to get married, they should be able to get married. Why does it bother people? I don't. So anyways, that's what I'm going off on a rant. I'm sorry. Sometimes I start ranting because I'm I feel very strongly about the issue. You know, I mean, it's just, as I did about civil rights, even as a kid, I was like, why can't black people go in the same room as somebody else? Why can't drink from the same water fountain? What the heck? That's bull.
So,
You know, so.
you know, that, and it actually reminds me, and it kind of makes me think about, we started talking a little bit earlier, you know, the song Mantra. You know,
Yeah, well.
what is that about?
Well, that's about a lot of these beliefs that people have very strongly about it comes from religious backgrounds. You know, that well, the Bible says that, you know, it's wrong. The Quran says that homosexuality is wrong. So, you know, well, fine. If that's what you believe, then don't do it. Right. But that doesn't mean someone who doesn't believe in that book has to follow that path. That to me that's not equal rights. That's not. So, yeah, you know, so the idea about, it was written basically about religion, my view on a lot of different religions, because I just find it very pompous for any one religion to say we're the only true path. You know, unless you can put evidence out that I could look at your evidence and look at the evidence from the Hindus and the Buddhists and the Christians and the Muslims.
There's a lot of similarities.
And one of
all
them would
across
stand
the
out.
board.
That's what I did. I went on a mental journey years ago because I had questions and crises of faith with Christianity and religion, the whole thing in general. And I thought, you know, I'm going to act like I just got here from another planet and going to line up everything all together, all these different religions, just like I never heard of any of them, and see if one stands out, like, you know, which you should do. That's the best way. If you're going to buy a car, you put all the cars together. Is one better than the other? If not, flip a coin. right? Close your eyes and point. It doesn't matter. So, you know, I did that, and you know what? None of them stood out. They're all the same. They all got good people. They all got bad people. They all got people in between. They got people who are extremists. They got people who are moderates. And in each and every one, nobody believes the same thing. All Christians don't believe the same thing. All Muslims don't believe it. You know, there's fights between each other, even in their own faith, about what's true and what isn't. So
I'm sure that some
you know?
people would say that, you know, choosing the destiny of their spirit versus choosing over a Volkswagen or a BMW might be a little bit different on the priority list.
Exactly. So shouldn't you take more effort in picking your religion? But people take more effort in buying a car than picking their religion, I'll guarantee you.
Interesting.
Right?
Very interesting.
Because again, if you look at statistics, in most countries that are, like in this country, it's a Christian, Judeo-Christian majority. Right. So most people are going to be that way, and then people are usually just raised in it, and they believe it. Say, if you look at an Arab country, you don't see a lot of conversions, is what I'm saying, between the, you know, you a little bit here and there. No mass conversions. Why? Because they're all kind of basically the same, so you believe what you grew up in. And that's how it goes.
Well, I'd like to play the song
Mantra.
Mantra.
That's what the song's about, yeah.
I'd like to play it and let our viewers check it out. Also, we're going to go right out of the song into a break. Please come back after the break. We've got more of Lucky and yours truly very soon, so stick around. I gotta minimize this. All right, there we go.
1441 gives us the authority to move without any second resolution.
Talk to my God like I'm ordering a chicken nuggets combo at the Jack in the Box drive-through window. I'll have 2 intercessions, a blessing, and a side order of vengeance, please. His Holiness, the almighty, omnipotent, supreme being of the universe, must get tired of that.
The answer from all time, and the answer for every time. Think about it for a moment. Isn't that what we do? Isn't that what we do?
Spinning on a rock that's in the middle of nowhere, trying to get a sense of it all. Stepping back and looking at my various options. Time to go shopping at the spiritual mall. They got Christians, they got Jews, Muslims and Hindus, Hare Krishnas and some Buddhists too fast. How am I gonna find the time to save my sorry soul with all of these opinions coming out of my ass? Looking at a crazy, wealthy saint in her eyes. Didn't take long for me to realize. Eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we may die.
Perfect world, it would be the ideal thing to do, but obviously this is not.
It's only risky if you really don't know what you're doing.
Might go with my wife to take a shot at redemption. Everyone says join us in the fight. In our favorite group, you'll find the meaning of freedom. Who would know the gift of life would come with a price? You got conversation, dedication, regulation, meditation. All this just to show what you're worth. Living from a code of rules when we didn't know better. Be careful you don't fall off the edge of the earth. Looking at a crazy wealthy saint in her eyes. Didn't take long for me to realize. Eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we may die.
Rise up and use force, armed force, to throw people off of land that belongs to them. Legitimate war, a legitimate war, legitimate war.
600 years, 600 years.
Ever since the dawn of man and up through the ages, everybody's playing on defense, fighting over petty walls and reading their pages, when all you need is love and a little common sense. Looking for a savior, I'm just looking for my keys. Gotta get away from all these people on their knees, praying to the God of choice so they will understand why they have to die for a worthless piece of land. Looking at to sanitize. Didn't take long for me to realize Petrie can be merry, for tomorrow we may die.
I do not hear it.
Tomorrow we may die.
Okay, and I do not hear it.
Tomorrow we may die.
And I do not hear it. I do not hear it. I do not hear it.
Tomorrow we may die.
What we're dealing with is a biblical epic of retribution and vengeance.
Tomorrow we may die.
What we're dealing with is a biblical epic.
Tomorrow we may die.
A biblical epic of retribution and
Tomorrow we may die.
vengeance. A biblical epic of retribution and vengeance.
End of discussion.
From the Cocaine Energy Supplement Studio, you're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network.
MSC Radio Network weather is brought to you by NeoWeather and NeoWeather.com, Ohio's home for weather. Much warmer and a little more humid out there compared to yesterday. Expect partly cloudy skies to continue through the evening hours with perhaps a very small chance of an isolated shower or thunderstorm or two. Lows overnight tonight will remain warm and a little muggy near 70 degrees. Your Friday will also be warm in the middle 80s, perhaps a little humid as well, but overall very comparable to today, again with perhaps a few late-day storms. A better chance for thunderstorms is on Saturday as a warm front moves through the area with highs near 90. Sunday will also be warm and sunny with highs near 90 as well. The heat returns for next week with highs in the lower 90s and sunny skies. From the MSC Radio Network and NeoWeather.com, I'm forecaster Mark Spencer.
If you live the lifestyle, then you should arrive in style. Lifestyle Limousine Service. Whether it's dinner for two, an evening at the winery, or a night out on the town, Lifestyle Limousine provides extraordinary service. Check them out on the web, lifestylelimousineservice.com. Reserve your ride now. 330-903-0508. 330-903-0508. Lifestyle Limousine Service. And make sure you tell them Morning Show Central Radio Network sent you. Cocaine Energy Supplement. Due to great consumer demand, Redux Beverages has officially announced the return of its world-famous Cocaine Energy Supplement. It's now available at retail locations across the country, as well as online at ReduxDirect.com. That's ReduxDirect.com. Don't forget to be part of the all-new Cocaine Energy Supplement social network, where you can meet other Cocaine Energy Supplement fans from around the world. Cocaine Energy Supplement. You can become a member. You can become a member by logging on to lovecocaine.com. Pete 99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right. Jumping from one web host to another can be frustrating. Finding a good web host can be unnerving for even the most experienced of web designers. That's why Uncensored Net Noise has chosen P99 Technologies as its web hosting supplier. Established in 1999, P99 Technologies has evolved into a first-class web hosting provider. Its 99.9% uptime rivals many in the industry. That's why they offer their 30-day guarantee, no questions asked. For more information, go to P99.com. P99 Technologies will help you get started with your web presence with honest and expert customer service. P99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right.
Rise above the clutter, brand your identity, and make a statement. Broken Fan Media. Expert video production, television and web commercials, music video, real estate tours, live concerts and events, state-of-the-art post-production, video and audio editing. Check us out on the web at brokenfanmedia.com. 434-944-0472. Broken Fan Media. The next generation of sight and sound.
Having problems with your home computer or business PC? Looking to have some upgrade work completed on your computer? Have a special project in mind that may be too much for you to undertake alone? Time to call
Joe, the Printer Guy!
Joe the Printer Guy offers a full full-service hardware and software repair center at his facility to handle your PC, server, and networking needs. Let their professional service staff handle your computer needs. They offer expert service at an affordable price. Visit Joe the Printer Guy at 14035 Madison Avenue, Lakewood, Ohio. Online, joetheprinterguy.com, or give him a call at 216-651-3880. Joe the Printer Guy. If you're looking for the best in musical equipment, recording gear, sound reinforcement, and more, Guitar Center has you covered. Guitar Center, located at 26635 Brook Park Road in North Olmsted, has the tools of your trade with the largest selection of music and sound gear in the area. They cater to your musical needs and have the knowledge to help you out. Guitar Center in North Olmsted. MorningShowCentral.com uses them. You should too. Need to know more? Go to GuitarCenter.com. You're listening to MSC Radio Network, and like anything else on the internet, it runs on computers. Lots of computers. And you know, when you're dealing with computers, hard drives sometimes crash. That happened here at MSC, and you know what saved them? Rectify backup software. Don't believe us? Well, ask yourself this question. Are you backed up? Probably not. So don't be that guy and wait till it's too late. MSC did their research and tried tons of different backup programs and chose Rectify backup software. You know, peace of mind is priceless, and Rectify can give you and your computer system that peace of mind. Find out more at rectify.com. That's RECTIPHY.com. Looking for reliable and affordable Shoutcast audio or video hosting? JWN Media offers complete Shoutcast hosting solutions for business or personal use. All plans come with full listener stats, custom web scripts for implementing your service into your existing website, full server control, super fast network, and huge bandwidth limits, a 99.5% uptime guarantee, and friendly, knowledgeable support personnel dedicated to making your hosting experience fun and easy. With plans starting at only $3 a month, you have no excuse not to get a server of your own. Plus, with the option to add auto DJ and on-demand services, you can be confident your station will be all it can be. Custom plans are also available at their website. Simply visit jwnmedia.com and click the Shoutcast hosting link to get started right now. Oh, great. Not another Farmville request. Check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/Morning Show Central. Denying one Farmville request at a time.
Welcome back to A Healthy Cleveland. You're with us tonight with our guest, Lucky, a man whose songwriting brings controversy and an in-depth discussion about life and health and the humanity of mankind. You know, whatever that means, the humanity of mankind. I'm going to be like watching that later going, huh? Oh. So, but, you know, Lucky, you thrive on writing about controversy, it seems.
Well, it's easy to write about. I mean, you know, sometimes there's stuff that's just so obvious, you know, that you see around, and like I said, I'm not like a method kind of songwriter guy. I just, when I feel something and all of a sudden I feel, you know, strongly about something, I hear a melody in my head and I just start writing, and that's, you know, and I mean, I've written, you know, probably more controversial stuff than I've written a few like love songs too, but I'm not a, you know.
You know, the subtlety of songwriting, especially in the lyrics, you know, can give people different perceptions, obviously, in the way they hear the song or believe, or, you know, think of how your mindset was, or well, most likely even their own mindset.
Yeah, I just saw a cool quote by John Lennon. Somebody had it on their Facebook thing, you know, because that's what people do on Facebook. You just put quotes up all the time.
Sure.
Of other people, and pictures of cats, and, you know. So, but that's what people do. But, you know, that's okay. I mean, it's, you know, it's all right. But because I do some of it too, I'm guilty as charged.
Oh, you never put a picture of a cat on Facebook. That's right.
You know, not my own cats. I have them in the photos. I don't put them like, you know, when you get the news feeds, you know. But anyways, now what the hell was I talking about? I forgot.
The controversy in the songwriting and John Lennon, the quote.
Oh, the John Lennon quote. He says, you know, I'm just writing what I observe. He says, a lot of times I don't write my opinion, I'm writing my observations, you know, and that's kind of what, you know, sometimes I don't. Like the song we're going to show, the next one is, you know, a song I wrote about, it's a thank you to our troops. And, you know, that's my opinion. You know, that's not an observation. This is how I feel about them because, you know, I feel very strongly about what they do, and it bothers me when any of them die and lose a leg, and I don't think people are bothered enough by that in this country, you know. So
well, we'll get back to that. But where do you think the? It seems to me you want to point out what's obvious to you, and what you feel should be obvious to other people, or is it too enlightening?
I don't know.
Or
You
is
know,
it to,
sometimes it is, you know. But then again, you do something like the Sagan song, okay? And basically, the song is, I mean, take the last minute and a half of the song and singing, "Oh no, 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 we don't know." You and me are singing that, and then people are like, "This song is about pro-religion." People wrote it was pro-religion, and then the next comment is, "It's biased against religion." Guys telling me I'm going to hell, you know. So, two different people get two totally different ideas, and it's neither one. So, you know, you can't write to get, you know, to get people. Sometimes you can get them to think, but a lot of times they don't get the point. And that's what John Lennon was saying. And I was just reading something by this lady named Ayn Rand. Her name, she wrote Atlas Shrugged, and it was a very controversial piece because it's about, should we be a society of givers, or what's wrong with being selfish was the idea. You know, taking care of yourself first. And she was very controversial. And she wrote this book, and it was supposed to be controversial. Nobody got it at first. They didn't know what, they thought it was just a regular story. So you can't write to get people's opinions or whatever. You know, you're right, at least I do. I reckon I love doing it, and when I'm inspired to do it, I do it, and I love to make music, so.
And from
just a
another
good
aspect,
thing.
the writing of We Thank You is, in point, selfless. It's really about, you know, people who gave their lives and appreciating that.
Anybody who signs up and goes into the military, man, you know, a lot of people say, well, it's people that can't afford to do nothing else. Whatever, you know. They're going out there, and there's people shooting at these people. You know, and I don't care if it's a little skirmish between two guys. You know, if somebody's trying to shoot you, it doesn't matter if it's a big army or a bomb or one guy with a bullet. You know, they're trying to kill you, and that's got to affect your life. It's got to mess you up. And anybody that goes through that, you know, and comes home in one piece without getting killed, I mean, that's why all these Iraq vets have all these mental issues. There's like more suicide among Iraqi veterans than any time, more than World War I veterans, World War II, all other wars, didn't matter. They're all coming home screwed up. And why is that? You know, why? Well, because they shouldn't have been there in the first place, and they know it. And, you know, so, you know, that's why, you know, when you go to war, you better have a real damn good reason to go and put people's lives at risk, unless you're standing in front of them or with them with that gun. If not, you better have some proof. And, you know, so anyways, I feel real strongly about our vets. Anytime one comes into our pizza shop, you know, and they got an order, they just get handed food and get a handshake and thanks, man. Their bills tossed in the garbage.
That's phenomenal. Oh, yeah. That's awesome. Well, let's share the video. This one is called We Thank You by our guest tonight, Lucky.
Job. And you came. The car went out for a special breed. And you came. Someone who put their life on the line every day. This isn't something that you had to do, but you came. Should ever happen to me, you best expect a hearty handshake. We have what we have because you do what you do, and we thank you. Freedom for all because you sacrifice, and we thank you. Protect our right to practice virtue and vice, and we thank you. Leaving behind the ones that matter the most, how we thank you. What of those who pay the ultimate price? How can we thank you? many have suffered and we see your cost. Don't ever think your efforts are lost. We have what we have because you do what you do. We thank you. We thank you. So we hope you enjoy the salute. We have what we have because you do what you do. We thank you for the choice and the commitment you made, for the hard work and the training and the risk that you take. From the loneliest of privates to the ones who are stars. We thank you for the work you do wherever you are. We never have to fold the flag for you until the day you're old and you're brave. We have because you do what you do. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you.
All right, welcome back to A Healthy Cleveland. We're here tonight with Lucky.
And I hope you enjoyed the video, man.
Thank you very much for the video, Lucky. That's great. That's a great thing to do, and I know a lot of veterans watched it. You know, you mentioned in the last year you really decided to change some habits and start eating differently. I'm curious,
Yeah.
has any of it resulted in any kind of weight loss?
Yeah, I've actually lost some weight since the beginning of the year, and it's been a nice, like, gradual. It's not like one of those crash things, you know, that I've done before, only to gain weight back. So, you know, I've always, well, because of Patricia, who was on last week, of course, and I know you guys had a great discussion.
Lucky's better half, by the way.
Yes, much better half. She's something else. But one of the great things about her is, you know, she wants to eat healthy, but she still likes to eat junk every once in a while too, which we have that in common. So but that's okay, man. You know, but as long as you try to get the balance. You know, I used to be maybe 80% junk and 20% decent stuff. Now I'm probably at 30% junk and 70%. I mean, it's kind of, you know, it's gone the other, maybe not that much, maybe 40, 60, whatever.
I always say I've gone to an 80-20.
You know, and because of that, you know, like I said, I'm never going to stop eating stuff that I like. I'm just not, you know. But I try to exercise a little more, and when I do eat that stuff, try not to eat as much of it. You know, that helps too, and you know.
You know, the exercise along with, you know, eating small amounts at a time, eating raw food.
This thing here
speeds up your metabolism.
Well, the reason that I'm eating better too is because this thing makes it easy and it makes it taste really good. I mean, you could sit here, you know, and eat the blueberries like here, which were good, but man, when you mix them with this and some of this, and then the ice, it's like a milkshake, and it's that texture that's in your mouth, that milkshake texture. I use a little milk in mine, and we use yogurt. I was going to bring some tonight, but I didn't get home.
It's okay, you brought the pizza, and that was fantastic.
But put some yogurt in it too, and I like to use milk. You know, we use like 1% milk, so you know that's not bad. And that's good, right? Calcium is supposed to be in the milk and all that.
Sure.
So it's like it's having a milkshake. It's not like having a milkshake every day. It is having a milkshake, but there's no ice cream in it.
Right.
And it's really good though. I mean, you mix the blueberry. Today I had black raspberry, red raspberry, some kale, the yogurt. Man, it was awesome.
And how long have you been using the Vitamix?
Steadily now, probably since your show started, to be honest, because your show actually got me using it a lot more. Once I saw you on the show and you know, using it too, I'm like, man, the thing's right there, and it's not
so
hard
funny
to,
because you're one of the first people I knew that had one.
Well, but see, and we use it occasionally, but like I said, we use it every day now, probably for the last month. We use it every day, and I make a whole one of these. I pour a big glass for myself. I pour one for Patricia, put it in the fridge. She has that when she comes home from work, and there's still like another half left. So I have like 1.5 of these for lunch every day. That's pretty much all I eat for lunch.
Do you
Instead of eating
ever
something else.
do you ever use almonds?
No, I want to see you do that tonight.
Well, you
So
know,
what
one
do
of
you
the
gotta do?
things I guess I wanted to show folks at home was just how easy it chops nuts up. You know, and do you know that you can even make peanut butter?
I know.
So if you use the right peanuts, obviously. And by the way, we brought it
Got
tonight.
the plunger tonight.
We have the plunger. There will be no fail tonight. But
Because without this, you're lost. It's just, there's no hope.
I read that about a handful of almonds a day provides you, I think, with about 12 to 16 grams of protein. And then Patty mentioned last week, obviously, it gives you calcium too. Now, I don't use milk in my smoothies. I haven't drank milk for a long time. I just stopped drinking milk when I was trying to avoid dairy products in general. I avoided cheese. Of course, I don't avoid it. Just 80% of the time, I avoid it.
Cheese is good for you. A lot of cheese is good for you.
You know,
right?
sure, but it obviously, for me, I think that it was something cutting that out was kind of part of the discipline. I knew that if eating too much cheese is not good for you. So, you know, we talked about the formula and balancing all things and finding that moderation.
The formula.
So let's see how easy it chops these up.
All right, so you got them in
All
there.
right, let's do it. Oh, we have no power. How did that happen? I have it plugged in. We're determined to have a fail. Let's
Whoa! I'm sorry, guys.
It's all plugged in.
Thank you, Chris.
We're chopping nuts. I'll turn it up a little bit. You like that, how they come out the top? I do have the top thing.
They come all the way up. I didn't see them.
They did.
Yeah, just put that puppy in
Sure.
there. That's fine. Ain't gonna hurt nothing.
Look at that. Well, they're done. All right. Totally chopped. Now, when you put them in the smoothie, they'll get even finer, and
Yeah.
we can keep going and make it even finer. My Vitamix now makes a attachment. Did you know that grinds? You can make your wheat in, which I thought was interesting. It's about a $150 add-on, but yeah, it'll grind your grain and turn it into something you can use to bake bread.
I don't bake bread, man.
You
We
know,
just go and buy it at the store. Whole wheat bread, we buy it at the store. She
All right.
buys it on sale because she buys everything on sale.
So we got the almond base here. We're going to add some fresh blueberries. I did freeze everything tonight, just to let you know, because I know Lucky likes his smoothies frozen. And but during the duration sitting in the cooler, I don't think they're frozen anymore.
But actually, I ran out of ice at home, and I've been drinking them a little more smooth, you know, instead of chunky. But
I always just dump everything in there.
oh yeah, that's what I
And
do.
you know, but I
Strawberries?
just, obviously the purpose was just to show you how easy the Vitamix can chop up those almonds.
Is kale?
Kale.
It is. Now I got a question on kale.
I hope I can answer it. Because I eat
Okay.
a lot of it, I should know.
So you keep some of the stem on like this. Would you throw
I
that in
chop
there?
that whole thing. I sure do.
Okay.
I
Because I'm
eat
wondering if it's healthy or not. 'Cause
stems
if
and all.
if it's not healthy, it'll probably give it a bitter taste.
You know what? I have not noticed that with my kale at all.
No, you know, actually, this stuff is. I thought it would taste awful, and it doesn't. It really tastes pretty good. I mean, even just to eat it plain.
I'll put it
like
on
in
a sandwich.
Yeah, on a
instead
sandwich
of
would be
lettuce.
awesome.
Yeah, it's
It would rock on
healthier
a
than
sandwich.
lettuce.
Oh yeah, way healthier. Is that it?
I have some soy milk that we're going to add
Now,
in
see,
there.
you say you put milk in it, so it's just not regular milk.
It's soy milk, right?
I've never had
It's just
soy
not
milk.
regular milk. Oh, this is vanilla soy milk. And what I like about this, especially with the fruit smoothies, is it sweetens it up. Now, I don't have any ice tonight, so we're doing
See,
it just like at home.
No ice
we're
at
out
home
of ice.
for me. No ice here. No
All right, here,
ice
let me
there.
do this. I got the top here just to put on start, and then we can do the plunger. You can do the honors. We didn't even need the plunger tonight.
No ice. See, the ice, you know.
Right. I don't really blend it that long. Maybe 30, 45 seconds.
No, it's like ready right now. I mean,
think it's ready.
It doesn't take long, man.
All right. So this is our strawberry, blueberry, kale, a little mixture of fruit and veggie.
Who's drinking?
We'll pour as many as we can. We'll give everybody a little taste here.
By the way, the crew loved the pizza, so thanks, guys. Glad you liked it.
Right on. And
we are on Facebook. Tony's Pizza's on Facebook.
check them out.
we were going to talk about the
You
band
know
One
what?
Hit Wonders too.
Tony,
when we get a chance.
Lucky has a new band called the One Hit Wonders. And I will post a link and a picture on clevelandbands.org.
We only
so
play
you can check 'em out.
songs that were popular by One Hit Wonders. That's why the band is named that way. So it's a lot of cool music you don't normally hear when you go to a bar. So check us out on Facebook. We'll be playing out very soon.
You know, I'm curious, and since we have another minute here, what inspired you to get the band back together? And much less a one-hit wonders.
Ironically, Tony's Pizza. Now, I mentioned Eddie Tomeko earlier in the evening. He works over at Tony's Pizza. And then we had a couple. My partner, he says my daughter knows somebody who's looking for some part-time work. Lady by the name of Danielle. She came to work, and her husband was available to work a couple nights, so we gave him a job. So we got Danielle, Eddie, and Silas working at the pizza shop with me. Silas is a drummer. Danielle is a phenomenal singer, best voice I've heard in Cleveland ever. And
she does have a great voice.
Eddie's a guitar player. I played bass and fiddle around on some other instruments. So, anyways, we're just talking there, and somehow Danielle's father, or not her father, her uncle said somebody should start a band that just plays one-hit wonders. And I'm like. So he's like, why don't we do it? So everybody's like, okay, let's do it. He'll do this, he'll play that, and
there's nobody doing that. But you know, it's funny. There's a lot of tribute bands, and tribute bands are out there making more money than original acts.
There's a band called Vinyl Effect, and they only play hits from the one-hit wonders from the 60s and 70s. We didn't know they existed, but we saw their name on something for some kind of gig. So, but it's a lot of fun. We're playing a lot of songs. You don't play the songs you normally play in a regular cover band. So. It's been a lot of fun, and we dress up in costume. I'm a hippie. I love what I have long hair, which I've always wanted my entire life, and I wish I still had. But it's a lot of fun.
So the one-hit wonders
platform shoes.
One-hit wonders is less about controversy and more about fun.
Everybody that hears the band says this is a fun band. I'm not kidding. Everybody that's how they describe us. They're fun. I didn't know what song to expect next, and like when you played something, I'm like, oh, who used to do that song? And we see people doing that. They're looking on their phones who played it. So it's a fun evening for everybody, like I said. So.
Well, Lucky, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's been a lot of fun.
Some interesting stuff from the mind of Lucky. Enjoy. It's nutty. It's got that nutty flavor.
Peace.
In Cleveland, be healthy. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Oh.
Have a safe weekend.
Yeah, this is really, really good.